The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yes.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Well, welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day in the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Always do your best. Your best is changing all the time. Your best will depend on whether you're refreshed in the morning or tired at night. Your best will be different when you're happy as opposed to being upset, or healthy as opposed to being sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 21, NASDAQ off 26, S&P's off 7, gold contract down $5.80, trading at $1,538 an ounce. Silver off 14 cents at $36.90 an ounce. Platinum down $10 at $1,822 an ounce. Copper off 3.5 pennies at $4.11 a pound. Light sweet crude up $1.87, over $100 again. We're at $100.95 a barrel. Bonds up a full point at 125.30. Dollar index up 45 ticks, trading out at 73.98. You have the yen down 18 at 79.91. The euro's off 12 at 145.69. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We're at 1279.56. The high of the March 16th is 1280.91. You did 1.4 billion there. We're at $1 billion. Bottom line is that it did not reject that 1280.91. We're right there. It's messing around with it. Bottom line, I suspect tomorrow it's going to try to mess around with it again. You're going to need a lot more volume to break down to this lower level at this point. My larger take is, of course, we're going to break that level in a big way. The shorter term take is that, no, it's not going to basically get into the bottoms right now. Why? Because the contraction is too much after the acceleration down. We go take a look at the Dow Industrials. What do you have with the Dow? Dow is down 21 points today. The Dow's at that 12,048 level, and it did break the 18th and had some juice breaking the 18th. However, it's pretty far away right now of the 11,856. What I do expect, we'll be down there, but not just yet. NASDAQ Composite. We take a look at the Composite. What do you have with the Composite is this. The Composite comes down 26 points today. We are at 2675. Now, that level there, we hit a low of 2671 today. The 2671 got right next to the 2669. 2669, folks, is the high of the high volume day, which is the March 16th level. We did 2 billion shares out there today. That also is basically also light, because what we have on that level out there, we're banging out 2.6 billion. So I suspect the NASDAQ does want to get into that 2669, which is only about 7 or 8 points lower. Let's go and we take a look at the SPY. The SPY, this is what you have with the SPY. So the SPY comes down with 190 million shares today. We're going into that 469 million level. Now, what the SPY did is that the SPY did get to the 128.57, closed at 128.42. It's into it. And going to need a lot more juice to break it down. But bottom line is that you are into that level, and that's these high volume, whether it's low or high, folks, they like to get tested. This low will eventually get tested. I just suspect going into a Thursday, Friday, we're not going to get the kind of juice. In the summer, we have a shot tomorrow to get volume in, meaning whether it's go up or down. But Friday, there's no way more volume will come in this market. We go to the 3 Qs. We look at the 3 Qs. That was down to 45 million today. That 45 million got to a price point of 55.23. The 55 closed at 55.39. That was going into 2 separate swings. The first swing was the April 18th level, which was 55.32. Rejected that level with 45 million versus the 69 million down there. The second level, which was the 55.34, that had 176 million. So you can see that the selling is drying up a bit. What I do expect you're going to get here is that you'll get some kind of a bounce, and that's going to be the B to a C of a much larger ABC down. We're building cause to blow away all this area from January 3rd. That's what we're doing here. The first, if you take a look at the Qs, that's where the Qs went topside. They went topside with 90 million on January 3rd, started at 54, got up to 59, came barreling down in March to 53 with 176 million. Tested the highs at 48 million. Now we're testing the bottom of those again. So it's going to take a bit in order to basically break that level down, but that we're building cause in order to do that. We go take a look at Sienna. Sienna come out with numbers this morning. Sienna got taken to the cleaners. That's CIEN. That was down 20% today. $3.92. Huge volume come out of the equity. When you take a look at this, Sienna, if we bring this back a bit, you'll see that, bottom line is that they just don't let you out of equities. If you don't get out when there's no action at the top, meaning no volume, folks, they don't let you out. Now, Sienna had all the makings. It was up at $29 in March. It not crashes, but it comes down to 22 in a heartbeat. Has some volume, tests the 28 again, and then basically lets loose here. Let loose with monster volume, too. So what you have set up now is that Sienna's at the $20.29 level. She's going to be making her way back to this $19 level. The volume expands as it did today. That baby can get a lot lower. We go take a look at, now that affected a bunch of other stocks. So if we go look at JDSU, JDSU is down $1 today, and this is one you want to get in your radar now. The buy's not here yet. What JDSU did, it closed at $17.40. The gap that was open there was $17.93. So now what you have is that you're below that gap. Bottom line, you came down there with 13 million versus 10 million. She broke the last swing point, which is 7 million. And this is setting up a buy, but it's just not yet, folks. Because what you have, JDSU had gone topside at $17, gone to 29, had the juice, and that's why you wait for these things to come back and fill that gap up. And it's just amazing, too, because bottom line, that's how it's set up right now. Big Mac, McDonald's. McDonald's come out with numbers this morning. Numbers were a little light. McDonald's opened at $80, closing right now at $81.15. Not the end of the world for McDonald's, but she does want to trade lower. She opened lower this morning, traded up all morning, but looks to me like McDonald's going to be making its way down to this 75 area. Some of the high-volume stocks we had out here today, this is what you had. You had Bank of America down 11 cents. We had Citigroup off 77. That's interesting. They're smoking Citigroup big time. Wells Fargo is down 41. We had J.P. Morgan Chase off 33. Let's go over to Citigroup for a second. We take a look at Citigroup. Yep, Citigroup volumes expanded too. Pretty amazing. So Citigroup, let's pull this back a little. Of course, Citigroup did the 10-for-1 reverse stock split. The stock was at $51. It's 36 right now. It's heading for the 35.40. Citigroup breaks 35.40. Well, 32's all over it. 32's all over it anyway. Citigroup has got some big problems out here. Yeah, you get $32 all over this. Now, what you do have is that if we look at the gold contract has held up. As the gold contract has held up, what you had today, we kind of a rounded deal, no big deal. The low was 15.31. The high was 15.47. You're at 15.38 right now. But check this out. These gold equities, there is something absolutely, they're ready to basically do another leg down. This is going to be pretty intense. If you take a look at an Eagle, AEM, this equity with gold at highs has gone from $88 to $61. Now what it's doing, folks, is going after its swing point with volume. That swing point is $60.42. You break that swing with volume, and that's going to be a monster ABC down. It's a big one. Now, the reason that I keep my eye on an Eco Eagle is twofold. Number one, that was the strongest gold equity, not the last 3 years, but prior to that. But number two, the reason I'm keeping my eye on it so much is that when I do these workshops and, of course, when I do the gold report, this has been sticking out like a sore thumb. And what has been sticking out is this. If you put this on a weekly basis, this is what you have, folks. We hit a high in 2008, and we hit at $83.45. Nice high. Decent, okay? Had some good juice behind it. Bottom line, financial debacle hit. This thing goes from $83 down to $20. Well, what ended up happening is that when you came back up to test it, number one, it tested it with half the amount of volume, 10 million versus 24, which was problematic in itself. But more problematic was this. In between 2008 and 2010, you have a couple bars here that are just absolute monsters. Now, the first one was at 62. We broke the 62, and now, rather, the first one was 62.60. So now we're into the 62.60 bar. That sets up that, you know what, 48 is game. If 48's game, it's like, what, are you going to bring it all the way down to 39? That's the first one. Now, if we go over to Rheingold Resources, we look at Rheingold. Rheingold, bottom line, has been the strongest gold equity. Rheingold also, though, showed a sign of strength. So this is how this one's going to set up. Now, this one, there's divergence in these markets because Rheingold very well could be setting up for a buy, and this is what it is. Rheingold was down 327 today. You had 924,000 shares traded. But you're going into a day of strength with 1.8 million shares. Now, I wouldn't be biting on Rheingold just yet, but as we get down to about the 72 level, that very well could be the buy in Rheingold because the price spread is pretty dramatic, meaning if, in fact, that's the level, you could put a stop under 70 and you're gunning there for the 87 level. So it's going to be wild watching this whole thing shake out. Barrick Gold has big problems. Barrick Gold today broke its lows. That low being 44.25. We did it with 9 million shares. Right now, the last low out there had 11 million. You're hanging at those lows with an expansion. You know, it closed above the 44.25. It made 44.32. But the way that came down, I suspect it's going to be right back down to those levels. We go take a look at Newmont. Newmont out here also came into its swing point. Had some juice coming into it, 6 million shares coming into it, versus the last time that we were down there. And where is she? So the last time we were down there was 5.8 million. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.